The Crusades were a series of religious wars in the medieval period, initiated by the Latin Church. Originating in 1095, these conflicts spanned nearly 2 centuries, profoundly shaping Western and Middle Eastern history. The First Crusade was called by Pope Urban II, aiming to reclaim Jerusalem from Islamic control. Urban's call promised the remission of sins for those who took the cross, appealing to all social classes. In 1099, the First Crusade successfully captured Jerusalem, marked by catastrophic violence against its inhabitants. The Crusaders established several states in the Holy Land, including the Kingdom of Jerusalem. In response, Islamic leaders, notably Saladin, rose to reclaim the region, heralding the Muslim reconquests. The Second Crusade was launched in 1147 after the fall of Edessa, but ended in failure for the Crusaders. In contrast, the Third Crusade, famously led by Richard the Lionheart, is celebrated for its epic battles. Despite initial successes, Richard's campaign ended without reclaiming Jerusalem, only securing coastal cities. Crusades across Europe had parallel religious zeal, leading to campaigns against heretics and pagans. The Fourth Crusade in 1204 diverted to Constantinople, resulting in the infamous sack of the Christian city. These wars took a toll on Byzantine-Western relations, permanently dividing the Christian world. Throughout the Crusades, the Knights Templar emerged as a formidable military and financial power. Templar castles dotted the landscape, serving as fortresses and centers of trade across Europe and Palestine. Meanwhile, the Hospitallers, another military order, fortified Rhodes and later Malta, defending Christianity. The tragic Children's Crusade of 1212 saw thousands of young Europeans misguidedly march towards the Holy Land. The Fifth Crusade focused on Egypt, aiming to strike the Ayyubid heartland, but ultimately ended in retreat. Later crusades lacked the fervor of earlier ones, driven more by politics and commerce than pure religious zeal. Nonetheless, the Crusades had lasting cultural and economic impacts, facilitating East-West exchanges. Artifacts and manuscripts from the Arab world entered Europe, revitalizing learning and sparking the Renaissance. Despite their martial nature, the Crusades prompted architectural advancements in European castle designs. However, the Crusades left a legacy of deep-rooted hostilities and misunderstandings between Christians and Muslims. Literature and chronicles from the period reveal the complex motivations behind the Crusades. In literature, Crusades are romanticized, with chivalry and heroism overshadowing the grimmer realities. The Children's Crusade turned inspiration into tragedy, its story retold in art and music till today. Likewise, military campaigns are remembered for both their heroism and brutalities, influencing modern perceptions. Some crusades ended not with conquests, but with diplomacy and compromises, easing tensions temporarily. As we reflect on the Crusades, we see a mosaic of motivations and consequences across a century of conflict. Ultimately, these events shaped medieval geopolitical landscapes, fueling centuries of conflict and cultural exchange. In the Middle East, Crusader states left architectural legacies, influencing local and Ottoman buildings. In Europe, returning Crusaders brought spices, silk, and other luxuries, enriching markets and palates. Religious zeal motivated many Crusader soldiers, driven by faith and the promised spiritual rewards. However, for others, plunder and land promised tangible returns, blending piety with profiteering. In the Arab world, the Crusades inspired jihad, a powerful call to defend the Islamic lands against invaders. Key Muslim leaders countered the Crusader advances, most notably Saladin, revered for his chivalry and strategy. Saladin recaptured Jerusalem in 1187, maintaining Muslim control and earning a reputation for mercy and justice. The Crusader narrative is multifaceted, with perspectives varying dramatically between Christian and Muslim chroniclers. Each Crusader state's fall marked critical shifts, testing alliances and power balances in the medieval world. These events deepened the cultural matrices that would define Europe and the Middle East for centuries. Beyond warfare, social structures changed, influencing feudal systems and citizen rights in Europe. Religious and secular powers often clashed, with some crusades turning against Byzantium and other Christian states. Financial demands fueled advancements in banking, credit systems, and even precursors to today's banking. Crusade failures taught military and diplomatic lessons, reshaping how states engaged in subsequent conflicts. Eventually, crusades faded, replaced by nationalist and territorial wars, where religious zeal waned. Historians today continually reassess the Crusades, analyzing motives, tactics, and a mixed legacy. Predominantly, the Crusades are seen as both a fervent holy war and an ambitious colonial project. Not only was Jerusalem a symbolic religious focal point, it also represented strategic significance. To many, the Crusades signify the collision of civilizations between the Latin West and the Islamic East. Even today, the Crusades linger in popular culture, portrayed in films, literature, and artwork. Nevertheless, they remind us of the potent mix of faith and power, ever relevant in global history. Through the lens of history, we analyze these medieval wars, extracting lessons relevant to contemporary conflicts. Global history continues to be influenced by the narratives, artifacts, and alliances born of the Crusades. The Crusades changed the world, prompting developments in warfare, politics, and global connectivity. They remind us that history is complex, shaped by myriad forces, motivations, and unintended consequences. In conclusion, the Crusades were quintessential medieval warfare, embodying hope, tragedy, zeal, and ambition. As we understand their stories, we better grasp the human condition and our collective responsibility. The legacies of the Crusades continue to spark debates about faith, power, and global relations. Through these narratives, we honor diverse cultures, acknowledging past conflicts and building a peaceful future. Thus, the story of the Crusades concludes, inviting reflection and understanding across time and civilizations.